connected to everything, and that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me, all eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
I'm gonna wait till John hit that music in the back. We there? We live. First things first, I want to apologize for our tardiness. We were a little divas today. I was running behind. I could tell on myself.
I'm scratching my side of my
Yeah,
head here.
I was running a little behind. Work has been hectic. I'm on my 4/12 right now. Tomorrow I decided to go in. Yeah. I didn't pick it back up. Today made me think like I may need to get a maid to clean while I work. I'm so serious. I'm going back in tomorrow at 9:30. Well, 9 o'clock. And I'll be there to 7 or 8 or whenever I get out of there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. This is things that people don't want to talk about, brought to you by God Level. I am a mother. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a nurse. I'm a friend. I'm a cousin. I'm an aunt. I'm everything good. We got so much to talk about. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here, lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology. Now I'm a father with 5 hip-hop albums, streaming on all major streaming platforms now. Positive, conscious, uplifting hip-hop. Go ahead and stream that up. Salute.
Absolutely. Salute. King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace, peace, peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am of service. Peace, peace, love, and light.
Coach D. I got it right this time. You want to represent yourself? Coach D.
Head to poo. This is Coach D. I am a personal development coach, life coach, teacher, entrepreneur, father, spiritual teacher. And, I'm here. I'm also the proud owner of the Abode of Osar Institute of Personal Excellence, where you can reach out and I'll be letting all of you know about the upcoming courses. And I'm almost finished with this first slew of courses. Now, if you're ready to be taken to the next level, to be at your very best, the very best version that you can think of, keep your eyes open. I'm coming for you. Hit that poo.
Hit that poo. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I forgot to tell you I had to update my website.
Too easy.
You got me? That is it. Man. When I take a break and not work as much, when my body shuts down or tells me to have a seat, I gotta sit down. Now I'm just kind of like going. But if I get too bad off, y'all will let me know. Y'all will let me know, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
We got you.
Yeah, Ivy already hinted towards it during the last powwow. She was like, I'm okay right now. But yeah, I am getting it. All of my children will be here next month. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm getting prepared for them. I already know what they want to eat. Except some corn pudding. Is anyone familiar with that?
I've heard of that corn pudding. Yeah.
It don't look right. It's like cornbread on top with pudding inside. No. No. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight's topic is alternative medicine versus Western medicine. I'm going to tell you now, working in healthcare, I'm going to be very careful. Go with alternative if you can. Definitely seek out alternative medicine versus pharmaceutical.
Well, we'll talk about that. I'll talk about that from the
You need a
standpoint
little
of
bit
an
of both.
orthomolecular nutritionist.
You need a little bit of
Yeah.
both. Do
Well,
you?
this is what I'm saying. As an orthomolecular nutritionist,
Yeah, because
I'll
I
talk
mean,
about the benefits of.
Say it one more
Yeah,
time.
we can't.
because I mean, when
As a what?
we think about these two, he's gonna tackle
I
it from
said
one
it.
perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, I just said as an orthomolecular nutritionist. That's what my degree is in. Orthomolecular nutrition. And yeah, that's so it's important. Just through that, I understand the place and the significance of both.
Mm-hmm.
And how
Yeah,
they both can
yeah,
be of benefit. So yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
we got to understand, like, what do we mean when we talk about Western medicine? What do we mean about alternative medicine? We're going to talk about those because I mean, again, Western medicine also includes your surgeries. So would you say, oh well,
Okay.
don't get any surgeries then?
I would not say
Right? We
that.
wouldn't say that. So it's like, so we're just trying to navigate between the two to figure
Mm-hmm.
out, all right, how do we incorporate each branch of medicine into our lives? How can these tools be of use to us, right? But we're going to talk about the grand scheme of both of them, right? But let's
Mm-hmm.
first get the umbrella out of the way, right? Let's just start with medicine. What do you guys think the function or the purpose of medicine is, and just your own words, your own thoughts?
Are you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Anybody, King Newborn.
He gonna wait till he listen to everybody, and then he gonna chime in at the end,
All
and then
right.
he
So I'll
gonna
take
have
a
a
crack at it.
yeah.
All right. So when I think about medicine, I'm thinking about the promotion of health, um, preventing and treating diseases, alleviating symptoms, uh, and just improving overall health for individuals. Medicine also typically includes research, study, diagnostics, and then treatment, but also prevention. I think prevention is also incorporated into that. Medicine can restore and maintain physical and mental, emotional, and just ultimate enhance the quality of life. Um, I think that kind of hits it.
Now you're speaking of
What y'all think?
medicine as a umbrella, as a category, right?
Yes, just in
Okay.
general before we
Okay.
start
Just
getting
in
into
general.
those
Gotcha.
two.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with you on what you said there, John. It's intervention. It's a practical
Ooh.
intervention when it comes to in the face of any type of imbalance in the body or any type of medical need for the body, whether it's in the face of disease, chronically, or any type of acute condition. So I think that's what medicine. So medicine overall, in its purpose, is supposed to alleviate symptoms, number one, but also reverse conditions as well as a form of treatment. So overall, that's what medicine is for.
I'm glad
That's
you
what it's
said
for.
that word
Okay.
intervention too. Intervention,
Mm-hmm.
that's a very key word right there because we talk about prevention and then there's the intervention, as in you're introducing
Mm-hmm.
something to restore. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an
when you're
intervention. Ooh.
intervening because there's something's going on and you have to
Yeah,
intervene in order to
yeah, because
stop
there's a
the
course.
inevitable outcome. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Mm-hmm.
course. Yeah. Disease has a course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there and that conditions, right? All right, we're in this condition, but then that condition can evolve as well. So yeah, we're talking about intervening a course of development when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to illness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
King Newborn, you want to add anything to that? God level?
Mm-mm. I'm gonna be listening.
Oh.
Even
You
with
the
my
nurse.
healthcare, I know. Even with my healthcare background, I'm gonna be listening because
All right. So let's go ahead and
go ahead.
tap into it. What do we mean by
Go ahead.
Western medicine? What do y'all think of when you hear Western medicine?
United
Well,
States.
Western
We're
medicine,
way
yeah. Well,
here.
Western medicine, it's not just the United States. We're talking about
Okay.
Exactly.
the practices incorporated by the Western world. Even before America, it's a Eurocentric practice
Yes.
of medicine. That became, that's the West. We're talking about the Roman, the Greco-Roman types of treatment, and also, but I have to say that even before in
Reagan's too.
the
There it is.
interim, yeah, them too. But also in the interim of things, still things used to be very, very holistic. Still, they used to be holistic still into a short time ago. So when we talk about pharmaceuticals, what's the idea and the problem with Western medicine today has a lot to do with the concept or the purpose that just came about in the medical field just a short time ago. So, but also when we think of Western medicine, we also think of these sometimes very harsh treatments, very harsh tactics. So it wasn't just medicine itself, but remember, like you said, it was about the treatment. So even we're talking about electrotherapy, shock, for psychotherapy reasons.
Lobotomies.
Lobotomies, and even remember in what was her name, Harriet Washington's book Medical Apartheid, she outlines a lot of that that was happening also what they did to black slaves, and the experiments that they were doing on them in order to and this is before anesthesia or anything like this,
Yes.
but they were
Yes.
mutilating them,
Black women.
in the pursuit of the establishment of Western medicine. So but it was for they would do it on the black slaves, and then whatever they work out, the treatment is what they would actually end up implementing for the white folks, so yeah. So anyway, that's a deep topic too, so we'll get into more of that as we go on, but that's the ugly side. that's part of the ugly side of Western medicine.
What about you, King?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of when you hear Western medicine or when you say Western medicine?
I heard money. That's all I heard.
Come on, that's it.
I know it.
When it comes down to it, that's what it is, right?
Down to it, it's just money, synthetic drugs. How can you take nature and copy it? That's it. I mean, but I do understand everything that both of you brothers already pointed out, because those are true key factors. But when you do the research and you see where all of it stems from, once you learn that, everything else is just capital gain. So
now I do believe though, like I do believe that there's some, when it comes to advances in medicine, is necessary. One of the oldest medical doctrines I've had the opportunity to read was the Eber's Papyrus, which is one of the oldest Kemetic medical doctrines documents that was ever written, and they were describing procedures to deal with heart disease, to deal with all kind of medical surgeries, amputations, all this other kind of stuff way back then. And we're talking about thousands of years before the Greeks and Romans,
before the X-ray machine.
Yeah, way before then. So they already had figured out a lot of it
to map out their entire
anatomy.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah.
The entire anatomy. So it's not a new thing, and this came way before Hippocrates. And just understand that Hippocrates actually went to Kemet in order to learn what he learned and brought that information back to Greece, so that Hippocratic oath is
I
not,
just want to say that, yeah.
it's not Greece at all. Remember Imhotep was a physician.
Yeah.
One of many, but Imhotep was a physician. So and don't get me wrong, a lot of the Nasut, or the pharaohs, who we properly call Nasut Pati, they were also had deep and vast medical knowledge of the human body, and so it's a lot. And they also had other documents or doctrines or texts that dealt with soldiers injuries during war and things like that, how they had to treat a lot of those as well on the field. So I said a lot of that stuff is very, very ancient, way before Greeks or the Romans even knew anything about it. So that is not that's one thing I like to straighten out, because we tend to give too much credit where credit is not due. And so I want to make sure that we understand that and what this thing was for. Because if we understand the true origins of the pursuit, it was really for human health and true prevention, and also recovery and treatment, and how these things were really, really for the advancement of the human population, not for monetary gain. Not in the beginning, it wasn't.
Rejuvenation as well.
Yes, absolutely. It was truly for healing. Truly for healing.
Right.
One of the things that I think of when it comes to Western medicine is scientific method, right? And then the biomedical model. So in Western medicine, there's a pervasive view of the human body as a complex biological system. And in this view, we focus more on the physiological causes of disease, right? So essentially, physicians have this theory that if there's any illness in the body, it was physical. It's all physical. It's only biological. Nothing else causes it, right?
Right.
And often the use of pharmaceutical drugs, surgical procedures, medical devices. What else? Scientific approach. I also think of regulations. I think of government regulations. I think of specializations. It's a very highly specialized field, Western medicine. So you could be a cardiologist, a neurologist, or orthopedic surgeon. And then, there's various types of specialists, right? And then, there's the integration of technology, the advancement of technology. I think about MRIs and CT scans and X-rays, laboratory tests. To me, that's Western medicine. Now, that's not to say that other cultures weren't practicing in a similar fashion, even using the scientific method, but their outcomes were likely a lot different, and even some of their processes. So the scientific method isn't just only reserved for the Western world, but I do think of that process as sort of being democratic, so that if John comes up with a pharmaceutical or a drug or some sort of treatment, it implies that my process, my method, can be replicated. So King Newborn could be like, okay, so you did what, and this is your outcome. All right, let me see that research paper. Let me see if this can be replicated. Let me see if I can get the same results. All right. I also think one size fits all when I think of Western medicine. Now, that's not to say that Western medicine isn't patient-centered, right? But it's the first thing that pops out, because there tends to be a generalized approach a lot of the times when it comes to illnesses. Like, all right, I came up with this treatment, but this treatment may not affect everyone the same exact way. I might have this normal distribution of individuals who respond favorably to my treatment. And then I have these outliers. Some people are going to have adverse effects, side effects, all that. So that's what I think of when it comes to Western medicine.
Oh
I think
my
pros
God.
and cons. Now, what do we mean by alternative medicine? What do you guys think of with alternative?
Alternative is
For,
definitely a go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's his key. When he start, that's the sign. When he starts laughing, it's about to go down. Go ahead, brother.
no, I ain't got nothing. Go ahead,
Yeah,
go ahead, Coach D.
All right, so let's talk about alternative. And well, should we talk about the term first? Because the term gets on my nerves. The term alternative.
Yeah.
When it was the original way that we approached medicine.
Hello.
But now it's alternative.
Hello.
Why is that? Okay. So I just got a problem. Just want to let you know I got a problem with the concept.
Okay.
But let's talk about what we're talking about. We're talking about the original and holistic approach to the care of the human body, to bring back homeostasis out of the face of disease. There is literally a pretty much an herb for everything. And here's the thing about herbs. Herbs deal not just with the body, but it deals with energetic systems within the body. That's what people don't realize. It deals with energetic systems within the body. And you got 5 organ systems, not 5 organs, but 5 organ systems that carry this energy. And when that energy is out of balance, it is this so-called alternative medicine that takes care of that, because that energy being out of balance is what leads to disease. Okay, so these are the things that general population don't know at this time. So, but you got people still practicing traditional Chinese medicine that do know, and you got people practicing a medical and healing technique called Qigong. So if you study Qigong, you can literally study these energy systems and keep your body at health. And you're talking about preventative care. There you go. But along with that, there is some traditional Chinese herbs that you can take to keep your organs toned. So did you know you can tone your liver? You can tone your lungs. You can tone the stomach and spleen system. You can tone these things just like you tone your muscle. You can tone them.
It's called a piano right now.
Well, piano, right. Out of tune.
Yeah, it's out of tune. Well, yeah.
Out of tune. But there's also cleansing. But the main thing what these things do is they put the chi. The chi is another word for kundalini and also life force. It's the breath that animates you, the breath that makes you possible, that makes life possible within you. When that energy is not flowing right, you cannot sustain life. And the first symptoms of that is disease. The first symptoms of death is disease. So so-called alternative medicine deals with that. That's the way it deals with. So that way you get it at the core, not just the peripheral, which is what symptoms. Pharmaceuticals deal with.
A little sidebar
so that's my long way around of saying what that is.
Yeah, with what you just said, I just want to piggyback and say that we're already shallow breathers. We only breathe about 25 to maybe 30% when we inhale. We're not even taking the time to take a full breath through the nose, out through the mouth.
But it's diaphragmatic breathing.
That's true too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is true. That is true. But I'm just saying, normally when you go to the hospital, the first thing they give you is what, Renee? Well, God level.
Oh, I can tell you on the way we give you oxygen.
There you go. Yeah.
In the back of the ambulance, we give you oxygen.
Here, suck on this for a minute.
That's right. Put it right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who said it, but I think it was my brother. He was like deep breathing. He was like, "That's all you need to do is deep breathe." And I did that one night before going to sleep, and I fell right to
25
sleep.
times. Yeah, you'll pass
I
out.
fell right
So
to
you'll
sleep.
pass
I
out.
was like,
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning. I was like, he might be on to something. Like that's all it took. Like I couldn't settle down and relax. But as soon as I put on my little rain music and I and let it out, I noticed after I did it, my body was so relaxed.
What's really gonna cook your noodle? It wasn't just the breathing. The brain can only think about one task at a time. So you was concentrating on breathing, which actually slowed down the process of your brain thinking of all these different things. Yeah, so you slowed everything down to concentrate on actually breathing, which relaxed the body.
which is why that's an important factor when it comes to meditation. Moving you from that beta state down to the theta state.
Yeah.
So you can also do that to get right into the delta state, which is what puts you to sleep. So yeah.
Right, improve oxygenation. You're getting the oxygen in, so you're giving your
you ever play around with
what it needs.
Yeah, you ever play around with the OSAT machine at your work? Yeah. That OSAT, the oxygen saturation.
OSAT, O2. Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we call it OSAT or O2 sat, which has got to be. And I had to play around with it to make sure mine was at 100. I know they say it's got to be above 90, but I had to make sure mine was at 100.
92%. When it drops below 92%, then I'll get worried. Anything above 92. I'm good. I'm good. So if they're sitting at 94, 95, we straight.
Yeah.
I got a question for you too, Brainiacs. Y'all real smart in here. So I just want to ask. Can you breathe in 100% oxygen?
You can never breathe in 100% oxygen because your atmosphere is only 21% oxygen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why the atmosphere is only 21% oxygen. So no, you cannot. But here's the thing. Your body only, when you breathe in at 21%, guess what? You breathing back out about 11% of that.
I heard of us wealth principles. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Yvetta. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought she was
commenting.
Minute. There you go.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you're interrupting the conversation.
I thought I muted it. I'm so sorry. Because I'm live on TikTok too.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm trying to get people to come check out the live over here because I put the link on my bio on my front page. So yeah. So if you see me over here and I ain't saying nothing, I just muted you all so I can address the people in the room as well. Miss Yvetta, thank you, Omar. So yeah, I'm just addressing. So go ahead.
Hello, TikTok.
My numbers be good on TikTok.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I understand why. Just looking at the history, well, really just the framework. If we're talking about Western medicine, we're essentially referring to the dominant approach to treating illnesses. So we're talking about the dominant, right? The dominant field, and so it's considered alternative because this one's the dominant, right? Doesn't mean that it's right. It's just that it's more popular. So when I also think of alternative medicine, I'm thinking about Tai Chi, energy healing, reflexology, hypnotherapy, massage therapy, aromatherapy, herbal medicine, mindful-based stress reduction, even dietary supplements and vitamins, acupuncture, Ayurveda, maybe even chiropractic, light therapy, magnetic therapy, cupping therapy. Anybody did that? Cupping?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I haven't
No, but
done it
I've
yet.
seen
I've
it.
seen a
What?
lot.
Yep. It's for removing impurities and things like that. But it's a real good practice as well as acupuncture. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I want to also kind of highlight some of the strengths and weaknesses of each of these, right? So let's start off with strengths and weaknesses for Western medicine. Strengths and weaknesses
Of which one?
of Western medicine.
Well, I would say the strength. One of the strengths of Western medicine, and one of the major benefits, is the immediate intervention, and Western medicine. Well, because we know we have to break this up. So when let's talk about from a administered pharmaceutical standpoint. It allows you to quickly subdue the symptoms, because a lot of times it's the symptoms that you end up dying from. You end up dying from the symptoms, inflammation. A heart attack is a symptom, and you die from the heart attack. Things like that. So Western pharmaceuticals can actually alleviate the symptoms right away.
All right, so we got some convenience.
Yeah, so you got some convenience to it. So and it can make you feel better. It can alleviate pain right away, and things like that. So those are some of the those are some of the great things about Western medicine. Some of the bad things about Western medicine is rarely does it cure if it's not a surgical or if it's not a traumatic intervention, if it's not intervening in a trauma, but rather a medical situation. You rarely get a cure. People don't know that chemotherapy and radiation have a 97% failure rate.
That part.
97% failure rate. Yes, for
So why would you
entertainment
even do it?
purposes.
For entertainment purposes.
Well, you know why? Because they can convince people to keep on doing it.
Insurance.
Mm-hmm. So, did y'all see that Suzanne Summers, who played Chrissy on Three's Company, she just passed away today.
Yeah, I saw that.
That
news.
But she was battling breast cancer for the last like 20 something years.
Wow.
And although she was a breast cancer survivor, but they don't list what her cause of death was. It was almost like, oh, we just knew she was gonna die. Well, she, just like many others who seem to have beat cancer, still ends up dying because of the treatment. The treatment wears your body out. It wears your body out. Chemo is a carcinogen. It means it causes cancer. Radiation is a carcinogen. It means it causes cancer. So, and a lot of times they deteriorate the body's tissue. And so that's what you end up dying from, is because it depletes the function of your body. So over time, you only got a little while left. So no, you don't die of the cancer because you've been given the cancer. So the cancer died of cancer. Okay, but then your tissue, your body didn't sustain the treatment itself. So anyway, so that's a good example of some of the drawbacks. So there's always side effects to when it comes to Western medicine and the administration of pharmaceuticals. There's always
What's
side
your
effects. You got to
background
know.
again, Coach D? I'm sorry.
I am a degreed orthomolecular nutritionist, as well as a holistic practitioner, have been for years, and a physiologist and anatomist, degreed in that, as well as a former nationally registered certified paramedic. So I've had the medical side as well.
That's what's up.
All right. So just to let you know.
The
Yeah.
I'm still trying to
Appreciate
figure out. I can't say that word. Orthomolecular.
Oh, yeah, orthomolecular nutrition. So you look that up, and you'll see that all that is that what I learned. I learned nutrition on a nutraceutical level. So how do we implement a nutraceutical regimen, so a regimen of nutrients alongside a pharmaceutical regimen, and make them work together in order to alleviate not just symptoms of whatever's going on, but also get to the core of it, which is what the nutrition is for. So when you got a fast acting, a resolution, and then one that acts slow to actually deal with the core of it. So eventually you wean yourself off of the pharmaceuticals, but keep the nutraceutical regimen going in order to get to the cure, the actual cause of that condition. So we've done that with diabetic patients. We've done that with heart disease patients, anybody dealing with liver issues, bowel issues, and things like that. So, and also cancer. Also did that with cancer. High doses of antioxidants like vitamin A, vitamin C. Cancer patients get 500,000 milligrams of vitamin C a week. So that's very, very high dosing. So we're talking about super dosing these nutrients in order to alleviate the issue. So yeah. So like I said, and I've done this in clinical studies, in clinical settings. I've actually worked in the field. I've done these things. So just to let you know a little bit of my qualifications of talking about this stuff, in case you were wondering.
And I think that part is important. Those clinical trials, it is cornerstone in Western medicine, because it ensures that whatever the treatment is, there's some reliability to it. There is some verity to it, right? That it's actually treating what it said that it was going to treat. I think that's very important because, again, there's some time sensitivity when it comes to illnesses. Oh man, I got this pain, but I got a family, I got a job, I got a community, I have things to do. My treatment plan can't be too long. So there needs to be a sense of efficiency here. You mean to tell me I have how many options? 6 options to help resolve my medical problem? Oh man, do we have that much time to go through all 6 of them? Can you just give me the best practiced or the best evidenced? Right. So I think that's very important when you mention clinical trials, clinical studies, like that's part of the process, and not only developing and administering, but ensuring that there's, reliable treatment out there, because there is a trust issue here. Right. I have to be able to trust my physician is competent and has the right tools to help me out. Otherwise, shoot, we're going to be looking at a medical malpractice lawsuit, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And remember that, the number one killer, and again, this is some of those things that people don't want to talk about, but what they say, heart disease is the number one killer, it's not. Misdiagnosis is the number one killer among all people. Okay. Medical treatments, the number one killer. All right, that kills more people than heart disease each year. So we could say that, can we? Yeah, we could say that. You can find that anywhere on the internet.
What's your take on the strengths and weaknesses of
I'm
Western
off mute
medicine?
now.
The Rockefeller ideology of medication based on petroleum.
That's Erin, y'all. She's in traffic right now. She is in traffic right now, trying to get her son dropped off, and she's on her way back home. But she's actually live with me on TikTok right now, so she can
I know
hear
she's
everything.
commenting.
She says hi. Wait a minute, let me make sure. I need to pull it over some.
Yeah, what did she just say? Did she just ask a question, or?
Erin, did you ask a question?
I was asking about the ideology of Rockefeller and the petroleum-based medication. Everything is based on most medications include petroleum, oil, gas.
Wow.
Petroleum, which is an oil-based product, right? So pharmaceuticals are oil-based products, And it doesn't mean that there is not some natural sources, and some natural sources of medicine also include cocaine, it includes marijuana. And so it includes those are some of the natural sources.
Your benzocaine and your anesthetics.
Sure.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, so the main thing is that this is what you have to realize, that most of it is a scheme. A lot of it is a scheme, but it's kind of one of those things we just want to clean up but not do away with, because it's still necessary. It's still necessary. I'm not going to take away from the positive medical advances that even Western medicine has made. They've made some great advances here. In fact, we can credit one of our own Black physicians with the discovery of what to do about the blue baby syndrome.
Yeah.
Why is his name skipping? Help me, Vivian. Name is Vivian. What's his last name?
It.
You know what I'm talking about. He was played by Mos Def. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like some of those procedures there, that we have. So they're looking closely at what's causing what. There are some real honest, authentic people in the field. There truly are, but it's just that the process that it goes through to be implemented into society has to go through a capitalistic type of system, not just by the FDA to be approved, because even that itself is a big money making scheme. But once it does, but they have to get in bed with all these pharmacists, all these pharmaceutical companies, who's gonna come up with this and that. And trust me, it's easy to make up a compound that has molecules that can trick your body, which is what pharmaceuticals are. That's what pharmaceuticals, they are a compound of molecules that can trick your body into doing certain things, but they lack substance, which is why they never get to the actual cure. All they really do is shut down some of your immune system. They shut down some of the processes of your body. They stop certain hormones from being produced. So, but that's what pharmaceuticals do. I'm sorry, King. Are you
for entertainment purposes?
Okay, I'm gonna say go ahead.
I just be already knowing, like, okay,
it was pharmaceutical drugs treat. The things we're talking about is treatment.
Treatment.
Yeah, we treatment. We don't know nothing about that word, that C word he used. We don't know nothing about that.
Oh, they don't either, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We all in the same boat. They don't know about cures, just like we.
Yeah.
They don't either. So, what was it, that C word, or was it capitalist? Was that the C word?
We play with capitalists.
Okay.
That sue you with for the other word.
Okay, that other word. Okay.
The other word, that come for everybody. What ears did that fall on? Get them too.
But yeah.
All right, King. So strengths and weaknesses.
Wait a minute, how'd that happen? Hold on.
What?
Oh, it was already there. It was on the table, but
that's peace.
Coach here was already, he was on a roll, so he kind of
he really was.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
He bought me some time. That's good. I like that in you, God. Strength and weaknesses. I'm gonna say a good strength about Western medicine. I like the practice of chiropractors. I really do enjoy going to the chiropractor.
I knew you
surprised some of the stuff, man. And a full body adjustment, not even knowing that you probably leaning, got a little curve in your back. one hip is sitting up higher than the other. You be like, wait, what?
Mm.
But you wouldn't even know, man. You wouldn't
even know.
even know.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't even know. So I mean, yeah, that's a good strength to it. Um, what?
Ain't no such thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had it on mute. Did you hear the whole thing?
No, not the whole thing. Just what you just came in and said.
Mm.
She needs some practice on using that mute button.
I am, and trying to also do like the back and forth because I'm live on TikTok. Hey Jane.
You're showing your professionalism of not multitasking.
Well, this is my first time doing it, so I'm
It's okay.
I'll get better.
It's all right. We rolling with you.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, Coach D. Roll with me.
Weaknesses.
I'm gonna say the weaknesses in westernized medicine is just not being properly informed. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
there are pros and cons to anything at any given point, but not being properly informed, or better yet, for lack of a better word, just having knowledge, have a knowledge of what you're doing, why you're trying to treat or get rid of a quote unquote disease. When you have the more you're knowledgeable about it, the more you have an understanding of what's the corrective course of action to take to treat whatever the ailment may be. And sometimes we only look at, okay, he has a white lab coat, or it says Dr. MD or something to that effect, or we trust their degree, their license, instead of taking the time out to look up some of these ailments that we have unlimited access to through Google. You'd be surprised, just a little bit of clicking here and there and asking the right question, if not the definition to what it is that you are trying to heal yourself of. Well, I'm sorry, treat yourself of. You'd be surprised what you find out. So I'm gonna say the weakness is we're not doing the work. We're just allowing someone else to say, take this, you good, and that's just that. We're spoiled. That's the best way to put it. We're super spoiled. Take a pill and that's supposed to fix it, not knowing what else you are inhibiting something else to happen. So that's my take on it. God.
I was watching a video of a lady who was talking about women who go into menopause, and it kind of dries you out down there. They will go to the doctor, get put on a pill, and then later on, like 5, 6, maybe 10 years later, they're coming out with breast cancer just from the pill that they were taking. They don't want to look at the food that we have that can actually be helpful if it's organic. Example, this is some advice I gave to one of my friends who was diabetic. Okra. She ran high all the time, never was within normal limits. Normal limits is 70 to 120. I told her, cut the ends off of okra, put it in a cup of water, let it sit overnight, and then drink it in the morning. She said within 3 days, she said her numbers fell. She said, I haven't seen numbers this low and I don't know how long. Like I'm talking about she was like 80s and 90s. And she had been giving herself, like I said, well, you need to go to see your doctor real quick because you're giving yourself 50 units of insulin at night. And then if you're taking the okra and it's dropping your numbers, you're going to have to come off of one or the other. So the food that we need is out there. We just need to look for it. We really do. I've heard that sour sap, just like you were just saying, that the chemo and radiation has a 97% fail rate. Yet sour sap, and I hope I'm saying this correctly,
Yeah, I was just gonna say you said sap at first. I was
Okay,
no, it's probably
okay,
sop.
sour
Stop.
sop
Yeah,
is supposed to be 10,000% stronger than chemo,
allegedly.
allegedly. Oh, damn.
Entertainment
Al-
purposes
Look,
only. There are no
allegedly,
doctors on this panel.
allegedly stronger than chemo. But
Yeah. I
doctors,
recommend anybody just do your research,
do
man. Do
your
your
research,
research. Do your
especially when it comes
research.
to your health. Yeah.
Please understand the statement that I'm about to make is 100% true. Know thyself, your
Yeah.
strength and your weaknesses. Study yourself.
Mhm.
Take the time out to learn where your deficiencies are.
But also enlist the assistance of a professional. Don't be afraid. And I ain't scared to say that doctors are not the only professionals when it comes to this. I am a professional. I'm an expert in this field. It solicit the assistance and guidance of a professional. You know, so make sure that that's what you do, and don't be afraid to reach out, because I can tell you, it's a lot of help out there to be had.
It
You get
is.
help from, yeah.
And I just want to throw
Everywhere.
this. I'm sorry.
Even
I just want
TikTok.
to throw this. I just want to throw this small little helpful hint out there with all this beautiful information that we are passing around, ping pong to ping pong. Please know anybody that's paying attention to this or listening, they just passed a Common Sense Consumption Act.
Ooh, do tell.
What?
I'm gonna say it one more time. It's called Common Sense Consumption Act. Please take the time out to research that. You
Okay.
may find that is very, 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 very unsettling. To have this being passed, that way you can no longer call yourself suing someone about the food you ingest, because if you already know the ingredients, even when it comes to modern medicine, westernized medicine, even with you already knowing what it may cause, you can't even sue about it.
And it's called the Common Sense what?
Common Sense
Consumption
Consumption Act. I just
Act.
looked it up. Yeah, it's real.
This just changed the game on a lot of
Yes,
things.
it did.
Because if you don't take the time out to read and do your research, which is going back to when Skywalker asked me, what's the weaknesses? Do the knowledge. We're not taking the time to do the knowledge. Do the knowledge.
I agree with that. Because you heard about that lady some time ago who spilled. She went to McDonald's, got a cup of coffee, and she spilled the
Yes,
coffee in her own lap, and was able to sue
and she was
McDonald's
able to
because
sue
of it.
them.
Yeah, that I wasn't in agreement with that lawsuit. Not by no means am I sticking up for McDonald's, but some common sense. Don't spill your coffee.
There it is.
So maybe this addresses some of that. So that's probably what led to this type of act being done. So.
I'm speculating. And I'm going to speculate that what led to this act is to keep the rich rich. And by me saying that is it's not my fault that you're not practicing good health. If I tell you that, if I tell you that, hey, it's cat piss in this, and you take it anyway, that's not my fault. If I tell you not to drink this because it may intoxicate you to the point to impair your judgment, to where you may cause hurt, harm, or even kill yourself, if not somebody else, and you do it anyway, I'm not liable for that. So it's starting to point the finger at us now. We can't continue to ask for help, but yet we keep chasing the sickness. We keep chasing the
Absolutely.
dis-ease
Mm-hmm.
and want to say, well, it's your fault.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys ever heard of Proposition 65?
I have.
That's existing. Yeah, that's in California. And so basically they have to identify every substance that may be responsible for causing cancer. So you walk into places like Starbucks or any place, they have to have a sign out saying that, you know, there are substances contained in these foods and things that can cause cancer, you know. And it's scary at first, but you realize that they do almost everything like that in California. Everything has that warning on it. So it's like, now, okay. But you know what I don't see? I don't see any packs of bacon that has it on there, when we know that nitrates and nitrites are known carcinogens, but I don't see any Proposition 65 warning labels on bacon.
Right.
So it's a joke to me. So that's a joke. And I know that has substance in it that can cause cancer. So it's a joke. so I stopped paying attention to it, in other words. You know, but you know, it also, if you get cancer from going to Starbucks, well, the sign is there, so you can't. It just protects Starbucks. So I see what you're saying, there, King Newborn. It protects Starbucks. So who knows?
Strengths and weaknesses, guy level.
Strengths and the weaknesses of Western medicine. We think it's a the weakness is prevention. We're not trying to prevent anything. We're just going to treat you. That's another weakness. We're just going to treat the symptoms without treating the core of why you are. Treat the core of your disease. That's it. That's the strength is, yeah. We have made a lot of advances in medical, in the medical field. But also we want to keep you as a patient, because if you're healed, then no doctors is going to have you.
Oh man, my allergies.
Energy. Bless you. You okay?
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good now. Man, be in the air.
I know, man. They did say their pollen count was high.
Man, it was. Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
You gotta be very careful. Tread lightly, yeah.
This is why I was trying to remain quiet over here in the top corner. Just, you know, I figured, you know, John and Coach D will, you know, when it comes to this, they will just.
I mean, we can call it for what it is because it's public knowledge. You know, I mean, there's several.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the documentaries. They're on Netflix. You can just pick one and it's gonna talk about it. Exposure. Yeah. I mean, we got lawsuits regarding this stuff. Right?
We got licenses out there. That we trying to protect.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. We call it for what it is. You know, we're as long as we, you know,
livelihood. We trying to make sure we still work.
But as long as we reference certain cases,
there you go.
It's all right.
Yeah, I like what he said. I like the way he put it. You hear how he said it? When we reference certain cases and documentaries.
Don't ask me no more questions then. Let me just sit and listen.
Nah. You doing good.
You doing good. You know, because
doing good.
True. I was just like,
this is a community. We help each other. This panel look out for each other.
Look, I knew to shut down.
Yeah, we help each other.
I think I went a little bit too deep. I was a little nervous, but you know, it's fine. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Man. Keep protecting your sister out here. I appreciate that.
Leave them lab coats alone. That's all. Leave them lab coats alone. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Standardization.
I've seen. Go ahead.
I was gonna say standardization is one strength that I can attribute to Western medicine. Even just from a personal trainer standpoint, right? If we are a clan, an organization of trainers, of healers, having access to the same knowledge base and ensuring that there are research developments, that, continued education so that we can stay sharp and modernized, right? But I think standardization in medicine is a strength. And then, that led to the formation of the organizations that we see today, the APA and the AMA. They have requirements, they have standards that say, all right, if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a physician, you want to be an orthodontist, you want to be a surgeon, right? You want to be a practitioner, you need to at least know this bare minimum. Bare minimum, you got to know this. And that kind of ensures, not like definitely, not 100%, but it boosts that security that the citizens of the Western world can have access to equitable treatment or equitable healthcare. Because I mean, it would kind of suck that, all right, my neighborhood doesn't have, standardized physicians, and they're doing the best that they can. But if I were to just, go 50 miles that way, I would have standard treatment, right? So it might be substandard down here, right? So I think that's a key strength. Emergency care. I don't think we appreciate that a lot.
Shout out to all the trauma units throughout the U.S.
Yeah. Trauma.
I think sometimes we take that for granted, like the fact that something could be horribly wrong and you could just go straight to the emergency room. Like, oh man, this was an emergency for me, and then they say, okay, we'll look at you, right? I think that's a strength.
They're required to.
Shout
they can't
out
turn
to all
you
the
away.
first responder teams.
Yeah, they can't turn you away.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Regulation. I think regulation is also a strength, because it highlights what you can and cannot do, what you can practice, what you can't practice. Because again, malpractice is out there, and that could cause more harm than good, cause more injury, right?
Yeah, that still has a downside too, but I know what you're saying, though. That's true.
Yeah.
I have a question from TikTok. Knowing how Black people have and are treated in healthcare medicine, why are we not talking about that? Black people having their own. Ooh, this is Jessica. Thank you, Jessica.
Well, what part of that, like you're talking about the standardization of that industry. Whose educational systems you think you have to go through in order to get that standard education and to get those credentials?
Yes.
So you have to understand that whitewashes it.
Back to that capitalism.
Thank you for your question, Jessica. If you want to check out the whole live, the link is up under my bio on my page. Thank you.
But again, since this is the scientific, right, that we're still talking about something that's scientific, it's gotta be democratic in nature. And what I mean by that is we're talking about access. So if I don't know, there's a medical research group over here, it's Black owned, and they research a new drug, a new treatment plan or some sort, treatment modality, and they publish a paper. Who are they going to get it published through, right? And the publishing is important because it says, hey, guess what we discovered? So that the other practitioners say, okay, we need to look at them and see what's going on, right? So you got to get your research published so that the scientific community could give credence to it and start to implement that, because we're talking about evidence-based practice, right? So you have this Black-owned research group, they publish. What's stopping any other group, even in Israel and Russia, from having access to that information, right?
Yeah.
And then
those peer-reviewed studies and
yes, the peer-reviewed studies, right? And again, because this is about ensuring that that group that published that article, that their results are accurate, right? So my group is going to be like, oh, so y'all say that these were the results. All right, we're going to try it out for ourselves, right? We do the research and everything. We say, yo, we got different results. I don't know what y'all talking about. Hold on, let me send this over to my affiliate group. Hey, we got these results. They got these results. What y'all get? Oh, we got y'all results. Hey, y'all looking questionable over there, right? So there's an accountability system when it comes to this type of stuff, right? And this is also why it's important that in terms of the pharmaceutical companies, right? Because if a pharmaceutical company makes a claim, It's just a claim until you got some evidence, right? So you got to produce the peer-reviewed articles that say, hey, these ingredients in our product will address these issues right here. You need peer review, you need scientific literature to inform that. Otherwise, it's like, yo, we just experiment. I mean, that's gonna happen anyways, but we're just blindly experimenting. Like your experimentation process is supposed to have levels. There's things that you do in the lab that are not, non-human trials, and then it's okay, cool. We have enough confidence to test it out in the human population, right? So that's one other aspect of it, is the education, the scientific aspect, the advanced technology, the regulatory practices, criticisms. I think there's a lot of, somebody said it earlier, it's probably Coach D, over reliance on pharmaceuticals. But I also understand why there's an over reliance, because there's a high demand. People got things to do. Hey, I need a quick fix. I need to get it and go. I ain't got time to be going through this extensive process. I don't have the time. Can you give me something that's real quick, that's going to get me up, get me right, and then I can come back later for more intensive treatment, right? So there's that. Side effects.
Good old Band-Aid.
Yeah, slap a Band-Aid on and keep it going, right?
Well, again, what is that? What else does that lead to, though? That's what leads to addiction, because those kind of things are accessible, and that's why we have this opioid crisis and a lot of these other pharmaceutical drugs that are being abused. And it's because, and like I say, when I was talking about that ugly side of that standardization that you was talking about, this is what I'm talking about. Because this is the cracks that people slip through, or the loopholes that they find in order to be able to access this at any time. And guess what? Doctors end up becoming drug dealers. And so, look, that's like, well, that's how I get money in my pocket. So yeah, go ahead, crackhead. I got you.
Over-counter addictions. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. My bad.
See,
I did not mean to say that. My bad. I thought my thing was muted. I gotta do better. My bad, John.
Man, if I had known that, I would have sneezed for you right then. But
I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought it was muted. It came out of nowhere.
No, it's okay. Hold on, Miss Jessica. We actually have a number you can actually call in. 832-479-9035. She says she's been on both sides, and we should talk to people who have dealt with racism and the nastiness of the medical field. You are more than welcome to call in.
Yeah. And again, I want to plug her book, Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington.
Yes.
So she deals with that very extensively as a physician herself. She deals with it.
I don't know how to do that. You can't type.
And of course, that influences us to be skeptical, and even having this avoidant attitude towards the medical care or the healthcare system, right? Not wanting to go to the hospital, not wanting to get clinical care. That actually hurts us more than harms us, because if we're
what was that book again? My apology.
Medical Apartheid.
Yeah, it hurts us more than it actually helps us, and it's understandable. It's understandable. It is an ongoing discussion. It hasn't just popped up. It's been well researched, and there are some policies to try to create an equitable playing field for African Americans to have access to quality healthcare and to not be subject to discriminatory practices and such, right? But it's still in practice. It's still being implemented. But again, I want to highlight that just because we have this attitude doesn't mean that it's the right one, right? And it's a very tough place to be in. Dang, I want to get some care, but I'm afraid that they're gonna cause more harm than good. But then if I don't get this care, the course of my illness is gonna exacerbate, and I'm gonna be out the game. And then I'm gonna have to go to them eventually. And then who knows, if I eventually go, my illness may have progressed beyond a point to where I can only reverse maybe a portion of it, and then it's just going to carry out regardless, right? So a lot of risk assessment, right? I just want to close out for this question, and we can move on. We highlighted something earlier about it being symptom based, the treatment being symptom based, as in it's more so about symptom management. And again, it's understandable, but that ties into treatment costs, right? Western medicine, especially in countries without universal health care, tend to be very expensive. And that leads to a lot of disparities in access. And then, of course, as Coach D had implied, there's limited emphasis on holistic health. And that's very important because the way that we're diagnosing, the way that we're assessing, right? I was just watching a documentary, a couple of them today. One of the physicians on the documentary had mentioned that there used to be a process before you could just administer or prescribe any medication, right? So you had to really know your patient, and then you're asking about variables that impacted their life. So I see the individual has relationships. I need to understand their work environment. I need to understand where they're living at. Are there any, are they in a toxic environment at work, at home? Right? I'm looking to see what's impacting and what's creating this illness. Is it the food? Like, what are their relationships with food like? What are their relationships with their objects like? Are they under the car too much? Is it occupational, right? So physicians used to have to go through that whole slew of questions before they could prescribe any medication. Now it's just, hey, I heard that John, my personal trainer, he uses this medication to treat this. I like to explore that as an option. And then what are the competitive products in lieu to that? And that's just so quick, right? And I also understand, I'm not a physician, but I also understand that it could be one physician treating a population of 6,000 to 9,000, one physician. That's a lot of work for you, and that's a lot of bodies that you have to account for. So I can understand the need for efficiency and the quickness, because it's like, yo, one person trying to treat all those patients, like you got to knock them out. So of course that comes that there's a weakness to that. You know, the quality of care declines because
I have a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Who do I have right now? Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. This is Jessica. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you? And thank you for watching my live on TikTok. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I was listening. I came in kind of like in the middle of everything.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I've been on both sides of the medical field. I've worked as a CNA for 10 years, and I've been a patient as well.
Okay.
Since 2008, I've had 10 surgeries. I have hardware, all kinds of things. But I dealt with a lot of racism on the job, but I never thought that I would experience the things that I did as a patient, being a patient. And I can tell you that I have issues. I'm disabled now. I have issues now. And I just refuse. If I told my primary doctor, if she cannot do it, we're not doing it. I refuse to go to specialists. I refuse their pain Medicare. I refuse all of these things because they're not for us. Like when you're speaking, like who are you really speaking to? Because all of these things don't apply to us. It's not made for us. It's made to hurt us, not help us.
When you say it's not for us, what are you saying specifically?
As Black people.
Okay.
And for us, our race, like just learning our history. Once I love my people and I love being Black. Black is beautiful, but I am very saddened by my people as well to see them not stand together and stick together when everybody is our enemy. I don't get it. To learn that we are, excuse me, but we are the shit. We that thing. You know what I mean? We should be proud to be. Why are we not standing together? Why are we not fighting back? Why do we not have our own hospitals, our own whatever it is that we need? Why do we not have it?
That is a very good question. Yeah.
Well, we had it.
I was finna
Yeah.
say we've had it several
Yeah,
times.
we've had it.
Mhm.
Yeah, she said
We
that.
had it, and we can have it again. But we can have it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what saddens me, that we can have it again, and our own people cannot see that.
Mm. Okay. Now, you did say something about racism in the medical field. What did you experience?
Oh, I went through a lot. I had a car accident in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
They left me with an injury. I had injuries. So I had neck injuries. They were never treated. I'm dealing with that now. I'm
Oh,
having a
wow.
lot of issues now. I thank God I don't wake up and be paralyzed. Like I just have a lot of issues.
Okay.
But they left me with an injury for 2 years. The doctors looked me in my face and told me I was lying about my pain, about being in my pain. I had no use of the arm. I couldn't do anything with the arm.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking at me, telling me that I'm lying about being in pain, that I'm lying about something's wrong with me, all types of stuff. 2 years later is when I had surgery. I've gone to the doctor, and I sat there. How do you forget that your patient is there? Like, I sat there, and the people done turned the lights off. These people going home. I'm sitting in there waiting for the doctor. Like, all kinds of junk. I live in Florida, so we go through a lot of stuff here. We go through a lot of things with Black people.
Okay. Okay, so you was the doctor's office and you wasn't seen.
Yeah, sat there. I would do that most of the time. Sit there, wait for the doctor. They don't even come in.
Okay.
You know, I guess they forgot I was there.
Okay. So that's one of the things that you have.
The pain management, like, I would not recommend anyone to deal with pain management. I just wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't, because I've gone through these people not giving me my medicine, taking their time about giving me the medicine. I don't know how many times I went through withdrawal. Like, I just completely stopped taking the medicine. Like, I just.
What were you taking?
People had me on, like, it, I've taken a lot of stuff, man. I have had it all.
What were you taking from pain management?
I've had a lot of stuff. Morphine, Loratab, Percocet, what's the other one? Fentanyl. I've had all kinds of stuff.
And you had to take yourself off of all of that?
It's more so being a guinea pig. Oh, well, let's try that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. I had to stop people from doing me like that. I'm not a guinea pig.
Okay, so did you get to the root of your pain?
Yeah.
What was? Okay.
I have back problems.
Okay.
So the sciatic nerve, I had herniated disc. They kept telling me nothing was wrong with me. By the time I got to a surgeon, I couldn't even walk. By the time I got to a surgeon, and they were still telling me nothing was wrong with me. They were still telling me that.
Okay. So how are you doing now?
I have a lot of physical issues. I can't do a lot of things for long periods of time. I have nerve damage. I have nerve damage now.
Oh wow.
Degenerative. My disc and joints are bad. Like they told me recently, like they're changing. The generation they're changing. So like it's just a lot of stuff. And then on top of all of that, dealing with depression and anxiety and worrying, but also believing in God and trusting in God and knowing that God is the ultimate position regardless of what they do and say.
Okay. What are you doing to take better care of your health right now?
I exercise more. I'm trying to change the way I eat.
Okay. How are you changing the way you eat when you say that? How are you changing the way you eat?
Just more baked
things.
Eating more baked stuff, drinking more water.
Okay. Because you on here with we got a two guys who specializes in nutrition and exercise. So you're in luck over here. If you had any questions.
Small changes.
Yeah.
Small changes. But specific small changes.
Okay.
They need to be specific. It can't just be generalized as start eating baked things.
Okay.
You know. So it's still about what you eat.
It's just small changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are you?
I take quite a bit of medicine, so it's just small.
When you say you take quite a bit of medicine, may I ask what are you taking right now?
I take medicine for blood pressure. I take medicine for anxiety and depression. I take medicine because I had a lot of issues. So I had a total hysterectomy in my 30s. I was young.
How old are you now?
I just turned 51 this week.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yep, quite young.
You're still young. Okay, you're taking medicine for blood pressure. What does your blood pressure usually run?
Let me see. Maybe like in the 160s over the 90s, high 90s.
It needs to be lower than that. It definitely.
It's been better lately, I believe. It's been better.
Okay. Do you have
Well, I'm in the 40s. It's been better.
Okay. So do you have a blood pressure cuff where you take it every day?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what else did you say you were taking medicine for depression? Are you seeing a therapist at this time?
No.
Are you against it?
I don't care for it. Have I done it? Yes. Have I done it multiple times? Yes. And I just don't trust people like that no more.
Okay.
That's not my thing.
Okay. All right.
Now, will I be honest and say that, do I feel like I need one? Yes. I'll be honest and say that because of things that I'm going through now. Like, I've never been through these types of things before.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm very sad. I'm very heartbroken. And I really don't have anybody to talk to that's not going to be judging me. And I really don't want their opinion. I just want someone to listen.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we're actually coming up on the end of our live. We generally go from 7 to 8:30 every Sunday. I'm going to get off the live with these gentlemen. And if you feel comfortable talking with me, I'll definitely be able to sit down and listen.
Okay.
If you're up for it.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Give me just a second. I'm gonna put you on hold. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Hold on. All right, we are definitely coming up on our time right now. This is things that people don't want to talk about. Tonight's topic was Western medicine versus alternative medicine. Woo, I learned a lot, and then I also had to learn to shut up. I won't forget that. That's my brother's cute, and I love it. The protection is beautiful. It used to bother me, but now I just embrace it because I know he means well. Thank you, Coach D, Master John Skywalker. We're gonna hit on this medical topic one more time next week on 1022. We're gonna have the administrator, Ms. Jamaica, back. And then we're gonna go with what's going on in the nursing homes, the nursing facilities. With that being said, John, do you have anything for us tonight?
I could, but I mean, we can go ahead and close it out because
okay, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. All right,
Yeah.
Thank you all, and we will see. Wait a minute, do y'all have any closing words before we?
I just want to say on my behalf, real fast. I'm sorry about that, Coach D. I just want to say knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Take the time, do your research. Don't be scared to use Google, Series, or whatever the name is. Can be of great assistance. You have AI now as well, so certain questions can be answered a lot faster than trying to make a phone call to even see your physician.
Right.
So just take the time out to do your due diligence, to research some things. And I'm not saying don't seek a physician for help or extended advice, but we still got to hold ourselves accountable for some of the things that we ingest. So yeah, that's my piece.
Coach D.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I want to just piggyback off what he said. Definitely do your research, get knowledge, but also I want to reiterate that there are professionals out here that you can actually seek out for guidance. Because one thing I can say that Google and AI don't do is deal with your unique situation.
There it is.
They don't deal with your unique situation. Maybe something like it, but not your unique. So, seek out some guidance. So at least so somebody can help point you in the right direction according to your unique situation. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
And just to bounce off of his back, remember that they are in service to you. These physicians, you are they are your consultants. Okay, so just think about a CEO, and the CEO has consultants. They're bringing them information, but the decision lies within the CEO. You are the CEO of your health. So when you seek a professional for consultation, it's just, hey, I'm bringing you best practices or what I know. Of course, the physician can be flawed, right? They can be behind on their knowledge base and such. So be unafraid to seek second and third opinions, and I understand there's a lot of resources involved, but just remember, you are making the decisions here. This is your health, and you are ultimately responsible for it, but you're just, requesting the services of a professional, okay? And you are the center of it all. That's what I
got. Before you close, I just want to say the purpose of God level things that people don't want to talk about is a prime example of what's taking place tonight with the young lady that called in. We are here for the community, and we need you to understand it's a safe place for any and everybody. If you need to call in or just want to have somebody just to listen to you, like I say, we are of service to the community. And that's very important. In order for us to raise the community, we got to take care of our community.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take this phone call. John, you got me?
Got it. Later, y'all.
Everything.
Oh.